Do you have a heightened sense of wanting and needing things to be fair? And does it frustrate your family and friends at times, or even you? I know I get really frustrated with, like, but I just need it to be fair. Most people who are neurodivergent have this heightened or more of a sense of fairness and justice than most people. I'm Maren, and each week I'm going to be giving strategies and tips and better understanding to being wired differently and neurodivergent. So thanks for being here. But this concept, this idea about being neurodivergent and the sense of fairness is something that I noticed years ago, and others have noticed it as well. Like when I taught and two kids were arguing over the truck that they both wanted to play with. Like I could decide and say, oh yeah, we're going to take turns. And you're going to have your turn and I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. And you're going to have your turn and I'm going to set it for 15 minutes. But then it's me, the adult, that's deciding what is fair and what is fair to them. So instead, I learned a long time ago, and it wasn't an easy thing to learn how to do in some ways, but it was about having the conversation and asking them sort of like, okay, and how did you want to play with it? Because sometimes there might be another truck. And was this particular truck the important truck or not? So then we could find alternative solutions to sharing. Though if this was the favored truck, and then it's sort of like, okay, what ideas do you have to create a solution? And the solution had to be fair to each of them. And so we had to talk it through until they each felt that it was fair. And then they were much happier about and willing to follow the solution that they were involved with, that they helped create. A few years ago, I had learned about something called restorative justice. Parts of it come from Canada and Native American or First Peoples tribes, and some of it came from Brazil. And so over the years, they've evolved and developed. And there's part of it is peacekeeping circles, and it's about involving people in it. And everybody gets to be heard. And it's about finding solutions that feel respectful and that can work for those that are involved. And for me, that is a much better way to find solutions that people are really going to honor. And I'm hoping that as time goes on and more people learn about this, that we will be able to incorporate it in various parts of our lives, including the justice system. So I'm also wanting to take this moment to honor Martin Luther King, because I know that he would have totally embraced restorative justice, because that to me is a part of what he was fighting for, was about equity and inclusion and respect and dignity for all of us. And when you have ADHD or you're wired differently or neurodivergent or have sensory issues or learning disabilities, they're not visible. They're invisible disabilities. And people don't necessarily believe us. And yet it's very true. And so we need to come together and support all people having equity and inclusion. Let me know if you were touched by this video and how so. So please comment below. And remember, when you're wired differently, there is hope, there are strategies that work, and you can create a life you love.